Hi everyone. Thank you so much for all the messages. I know this past week has been a long wait for all of you guys as well. So my official blood test was not supposed to be until Tuesday, but I wanted to come on and update you sooner because I know you're all very anxious. So I actually started testing at home like 2 days after transfer. I'm kind of crazy like that. Um, so I started testing, and on about day 6 in the afternoon, I did get a very faint positive. Very faint. Only people who have taken a lot of pregnancy tests and seen a lot of faint lines would have seen it. So obviously we were hopeful, and then the next day the line was still there, and then on day 8 it was maybe a little bit darker. So my doctor actually gave me forms to go for earlier beta if I wanted to, if I had a positive. So I did go for a beta on Friday, which a beta is a quantitative HCG test, and it tests the level of pregnancy hormone in your body, if people don't know. So I did go on Friday, and I had my first beta draw. Unfortunately, it was only a level of 6.4, which is very, very low. Anything under 5 is considered not pregnant. Usually people sit at 0 or 1, so I was definitely pregnant, but it wasn't looking good. That number was really very low. So all I could do was wait until today to go for a repeat beta. What they are looking for is that your number doubles every 2 days, at least, or around every 48 to 72 hours, your number should double. So that's what we're looking for. So we tried to hold out the tiniest bit of hope that, maybe baby implanted a little bit late or something like that. So when I went today for my second beta draw, my number came back at 3. So basically what we've kind of suspected, having the late positive to begin with and then the low beta, is that I had a chemical pregnancy, so it worked, but baby is not developing and it's now dropping, and so no longer am I pregnant. It's been a really tough couple days knowing that this was coming. I really don't know what to think anymore. What went wrong? This was a PGD and PGS tested 5AA, like the best grade of embryo that you can have. So for it to fail or have this chemical pregnancy is a pretty horrible feeling. It doesn't leave you with a whole lot of hope. Sorry, I'm gonna try not to cry. We've had a little bit of time over the last few days to prepare ourselves and have my meltdowns and everything. So today's news was what I was expecting. So I'm not continuing meds. I did call my clinic and they told me I could stop all meds today. So my number will probably just continue to drop until it's back to 0. And we will go from there, I guess. But I will not be bringing home this baby at the end of October, and now we just have to keep waiting. And I guess what's hardest for me is that, when the other babies were sick and when we were going through that, we always knew that PGD and IVF were an option, and we always had that as our backup plan if things wouldn't work for us on our own. And now we're at that backup plan, and it's, the closest we've ever been, knowing we were transferring a healthy embryo and had that hope, and for it not to work leaves, takes a big chunk of that hope, and it is quite terrifying because there is no other plan after this. We do have 3 other embryos left that are waiting for us, and I'll be honest, I feel like quitting sometimes, but Dave obviously keeps reminding me that, we have these 3 other embryos waiting for us and we have to at least give them a chance. So obviously we will do that. It's just, been a tough few days for me emotionally and with all these hormones and meds. I'm just so ready to be done with it all. But on the other hand, I don't know why I thought that it would work the first time, because it's never like that for us. So so this really shouldn't be surprising me. It just, things just don't work. But now I'm just looking ahead and I'm trying not to. But it's going to be, you know, if you're wondering what comes next, it's like a 3-month process. So you know, even if we just jump right into the next frozen cycle, it will be at the absolute earliest. The next transfer would be the end of April or beginning of May, and that's if my body cooperates, which it never does. So you know, we're looking most likely somewhere in May for the next transfer, and another many months of drugs and going through it all over again. And my worry is, if this our healthiest, best embryo didn't work, why? And they're not going to be able to tell us why, because they're not going to know, number one. But number two, if this one didn't work, why will the other ones work? Are we just going to keep going through this, either it not working or having a chemical pregnancy and having it taking and being so excited because it was positive and it worked, and then to just see it not progressing is just, it's a lot. So I think that's about it. I just wanted to update you guys because I know you've been waiting patiently. I wish I had better news for you guys and for us, obviously, but for now we just need to get through the next months, weeks for sure, and keep going one day at a time. Chemical pregnancy sucks, but it's nothing like what we've been through. I mean, this whole process of IVF and frozen transfers and this chemical pregnancy, I mean, none of it's fun and it's all horrible. You know, it's all frustrating and a long process, but none of it compares to what we've already been through. None of it, nothing is like what we've been through already. So, you know, I can't even compare these fertility treatments and this chemical pregnancy to the past. So this is actually kind of the easy part, although the letdown and disappointment of this not working is not any easier right now at this moment. I'm just glad that if this is how it was going to be, that it just was chemical and happened really early and didn't get wasn't dragging on for weeks and weeks, and being a miscarriage later or something. This is probably the best case for if it's not going to work, and just try to find ways to stay positive over the next few months while we are, I guess, getting ready to move on to our second frozen transfer. So if anybody is watching this who's already done IVF with PGD or PGS tested embryos with chromosome testing and didn't have a successful transfer, I'd love to hear from you, you know, in the comments, like if you were told kind of what happened or why it didn't work. I'd love to try to kind of wrap my head around it, but hopefully the doctors will have something for me, but I'm thinking they probably will just say it was really bad luck, or that it's something they won't just ever know, and that's generally what happens. So, all right, well, I think that's it. When I have any news for kind of what's next for us, I promise I will update, but until then, thanks again for the support. Bye, guys.